Hey y'all, how you doing? Glad you came through. Welcome to the Sugar Love Show, where we have fun. Grab your friends and dance along. Join the party all night long. Get ready for a ride, buckle up, hold tight. We're gonna ignite. Shake your body to the rhythm. Let the music take control. When the beat drops, you better lose control. We're here to make memories, create an unforgettable night. Forget about your worries. Let's spread the love and shine so bright. Welcome to the Sugar Love Show, where the energy is high. We're gonna dance till the morning light. Feel the music, let it flow through your veins. Come on, everybody, let's have fun. Hey y'all, how you doing? Glad you came through. Welcome to the Sugar Love Show, where we have fun. Grab your friends and dance along. Join the party all night long.
I was built to last when the webs are weaving. I could change the past, I'm achieving. I'm a
Hey, this is Skyrock. Hey.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name. Check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change. Possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working. Never stop searching, never quite so thirsty. I'm toxic and psychotic, with this logic, you can't stop it. It's been chronic since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic.
Built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grieving. Put your foot on the gas, no, never stop competing, yeah.
I've been doing this, I'm on it. I just wanna be iconic. Sipping on a gin and tonic, got me going off when I'm on this topic, yeah. If I ever play, I want it. You know that I'm always honest. Stay away from those who are toxic. Keep them out your face, no way, you don't want it, yeah. Don't try to drain my energy. The enemy is everything. It's mentally, unhealthily, spreading like a rare disease. But I won't let it get to me. I don't need your therapy. I can leave a legacy of leading by intensity. Come on, we can fight this. Freedom is priceless. Spread just like a virus. Living in a crisis. Do you feel courageous? Do you seek greatness? Trust me, you can take it. Go on and take your aim.
I was built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the gas, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grieving. Put your foot on the gas, no, never stop competing.
Woo-wee, baby. I had to start a part 2 because I don't want to talk too much. Part 1, I talked a lot. No, but Bronx, you're going to take the L for this. New York City ain't going to take the L for this. The Bronx has failed hip hop because y'all ain't never like the other boroughs anyway. And being that you did not want to include the other boroughs, this has gotten out of hand. Now you have a bunch of wannabe researchers and historians who we didn't need them. We didn't need them. If you just would have added in the other boroughs, which I'm going to do today, because you're going to take this fucking L by yourself. You're going to act like each borough wasn't different. You're going to act like Brooklyn, Queens. You're going to act like they knew who Kirk. We wasn't going to their parties up there in the Bronx. That was too far. Picture anybody. We wasn't riding 3 hours to hear no Cool Herc, DJ Mario, or none of them. If you would have added the other people from the other boroughs and tell what was going down instead of this big melting pot bullshit, we would not be where we at right now. Bronx, this is your fault. This is your fault. You made people think that graffiti was a damn element. You made people think just b-boy dancing was an element when that was just a dance. We can go back to the 1800s and see our black behinds dancing. Okay? When were we not dancing? The pop, not that was just a dance. Y'all made people think that was an element. And all these years we let y'all get away with this. We let you get away with this bullshit. Oh, it's a big my ass. That's the Bronx talking. The rest of the boroughs ain't talking. Then you gonna let Busta Rhymes come out with the well, you know it has a Jamaica culture, Ninja. Then you better go back to Jamaican culture before you start talking about American culture. You better go back into Jamaican culture. You better tell the people why they had the big speakers out there, which they probably got from America. Talking about, oh, it was the clashing. God damn it. When y'all had them speakers out there, y'all wasn't clashing. Y'all had the speakers out there because that's what people gathered to hear American music, right? They gathered to hear Motown. They gathered to hear Smokey Robinson, Marvin Gaye, The Temptations, Percy Sledge. That's what they was listening to. You better go find out your own history. I'm tired of people, these history buffs, giving the wrong information. And then we just take their word. We just take their word for it. And it's all a lie. We don't have to go back. No, we ain't got to prove it. If you got to wait till damn near 2025 to say 50-50, we already know you're lying. We already know you're lying. Just the point of how long it took for you to say this bull crap, you and Buster. All we did was have parties in New York. Not just New York. That's all us black folks did to kill time, right? What else? We didn't have money to go places. All we had was music. And that would be American blacks, period. Not just in New York, but everywhere. But everywhere. Only reason why hip hop was able to go to other places is because of our forefathers' music, right? That was what the era knew. So if you heard a James Brown beat, you listened to it because we heard it growing up forever. Then you would hear the rap over it, and you like, yeah. Then you started saying, I can rap over songs too. It's just that fucking simple. But no, y'all want to make it that made it out of control. So let's start off with some other boroughs. Because when I be talking, I'm glad that when I say what I say, I done found some videos who said the same thing I was saying. They was predominantly saying the same exact thing that I was saying. Okay? Okay. What's up, Mother Loves Logic? What's up, beautiful lady? You. Don't forget, guys, as you come in and hit the like. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas, Thanksgiving, and all that good stuff. Right? Let's get back to this. Because they're going to stop playing with me. Let's get to this. Telling you. Let's go.
And this was back in the 60s when Martin Luther King got killed and President Kennedy. We was playing music.
Thank
then.
you.
This was before the Bronx. Thought about it, right here in East Oakland.
We was here from what, 1968. 1968.
Like I never
Thank
knew
you.
of Hurt. In my days, I heard of
Yep.
Charisma Funk, Grandmaster
Yep.
Flowers. These guys had sound systems, DJ Act. I never heard of a Hurt. I'm not dissing Hurt, but I'm saying every borough has their
All
thing.
right.
When you take Grandmaster Flash and so many others, he's not the first Grandmaster. He stole the name from Grandmaster Flowers.
Thank you.
The original Grandmaster. I didn't get to hear like Grandmaster Flash until when I started going uptown and DJing at the Renaissance Ballroom.
That we was doing it with Master D and Fresh Gordon was on the beat. I mean, mind you, everybody was talking that uptown, but nobody knew that Brooklyn was doing it. We was already doing it. You know what I mean? So a lot of things that came across uptown that that they wanted to take knowledge for it. Nah, we was doing it.
Yo, ask Melly Mel and them about Fantasia. Ask Melly Mel. Ask Grandmaster Flash about Fantasia. Ask them, they'll tell you when they came to Queens, where they came to. Fantasia, Lancelette, right here, South Jamaica, man.
They first started in the Bronx.
Brooklyn, Queens, stand up.
This thing was ugly in Brooklyn.
Yes, sir.
Rapping in clubs in Manhattan before it was even fashionable. Pegasus, Tribeca's, with guys like Grandmaster Flowers, Charisma Funk.
That's right. Brooklyn was doing that.
And Brooklyn was doing their thing. And as far as I knew, we were the only people doing it back then.
Things I'm talking about right here, Fab Five Freddy, I'm talking about the era beef that inspired the DJs that created hip hop. I'm talking these is cats that made it hot, that made you want to be a DJ, that made Herc want to give part, made Flash, and like all them cats would tell you like these was the cats that really put it down, and it was cats from Brooklyn, obviously it was cats from Queens.
Thank you. So y'all gonna see, we let the Bronx, you fuckers. See, this how you know it's a New York City problem. What up, Faith? It's a New York, it's always been about the boroughs, right? It's sad that the rest of y'all got caught up in New York City's borough mess, but it's always been about the boroughs. It's to the point you cannot even say, hey, I'm from New York. They be like, nah, I'm from Brooklyn. Nah, I'm from Queens. Nah, I'm from uptown. New Yorkers don't even claim New York. They claim they borough. You would never hear like, I'm from LA. Right? Then they'll go Compton or they'll go LBC. But they just go, no, we don't even go West Coast. We always been like this. And because Bronx cut us out of it, because they didn't want to give credit to Brooklyn and Queens, we in this mess now. Now everybody is going in on New York. No, Bronx gonna take this L. Bronx gonna take this L on their own. We ain't taking this L. Give that shit to the Bronx. But the black space ain't had nothing to do with us. Mario, no, we not discrediting nothing, but with all your people and all the only way they was able to lie because you excluded the other boroughs, Bronx. You excluded them. We wasn't playing freaking country music and we was jamming too. You think y'all stop playing with me? Let's let this go. I know I'm gonna get me some copyright strikes again like I did the last one. So make sure support the channel by hitting the like. Support the channel by hitting the like. And make sure y'all stay in here so we can get these analytics up. Every channel I see popping up, I'm a historian. Ninja, you wasn't there. Y'all wasn't there, and y'all don't want to talk to the people who was there because we're going to take the Bronx the fuck out. We're going to take them out. Them Bronx brothers was going into Harlem. Harlem, like I told y'all in the last video, remember, it was a lot of artists. MC was young. MCing was young, right? Curtis Blow is the one who put it on the fucking map. That would be Harlem. The Bronx has not produced a big artist. It has not produced it. That's how you know other boroughs been doing it much longer. They haven't produced it. And you can't say KRS-One because he moved up there. He was already grown. He still belonged to Brooklyn. The Bronx itself has not, a Bronx born has not produced a big artist. Y'all still talking about parties. Let's talk about the MCing. No, we was doing it. I was one faking. I was a fake MC. Stop playing with me. Again, the only reason why rap was able to go all over was because of our forefathers. None of that music belonged to us. None of it. We was cutting and scratching off our parents or grandparents' music. Right? So if what I'm saying is not true, then why did they have to pay for samples? Right? It's called sampling. But when you're cutting it up and you're not making no money off it and you're just jamming off it, but once it became a business, them people wanted their money. They wanted their money. If I'm not mistaken, Biz Markie, may he rest in peace, was the first artist that got caught out there and had to pay that sampling money, right? So the music itself belongs to Black people. That's where the music comes from, right? The culture. The only thing we have different is the culture compared to other places. So we put our culture in the music, not the culture was not in the party far as the DJ. That's not the culture. The culture became in when we grabbed that mic. And that's what made us different from the Hispanics. Right? That's what, because we was used to being on that microphone, right? Because we always talked that way. We always had movies that was out. That's how our uncles talked. That's how our fathers talked. That's how our older cousins talked. They always talk, oh, give me 5 on the black hand side. You know, they always had that type of talk. Hey, yo, little young blood. That's how we always talk, which again is not a New York thing. It's just that we just continued it and we put it in our music, right? See, that's why you're going to say that hip hop does not belong to Black. Yes, it does. You didn't want to include nobody, Bronx, because I'm telling you, nobody ain't ever care about the damn Bronx. And we was nice enough to let you say, to coin the term hip hop. We didn't say you is really the creators. All you did was have a damn party. But we was partying too. We let you coin the term hip hop. And y'all let it go to your head. Y'all let it go to your freaking head. Let's carry on. Y'all gonna take this L, Bronx, because y'all let Fat Joe and them got us all effed up because y'all want to cut us out. Now it's gonna take Brooklyn gonna have to do what Brooklyn gonna have to do.
Obviously, it's Castle Queens.
You study history,
first person to scat is Louis Armstrong. When you hear Rapper's Delight, it almost sounds as if they're giving a tribute to Louis Armstrong.
I'll guarantee that you'll never see like the likes of them again. Stomp your feet to the beat of the Dixie Music Men. Everybody move, get right in the groove. There ain't nothing you can lose. Now right here's the spot where we'll all get hot with a nasty mess of blues.
The roof is on fire. This was heavily, it's not relevant to anything happening at a party. It's actually a tribute to Malcolm X's Field Negro, House Negro, Field Negro speech, in which he talks about when a Field Negro sees a fire, he wants the house to burn. He welcomes the wind. He wants the house to burn down.
And the house Negro always looked out for his master. When the master's house caught a fire, he'd try and put the fire out. He didn't want his master's house burned. But then you had some field Negroes who lived in huts, had nothing to lose. If the master's house caught a fire, they prayed for a strong wind to come along. This was the difference between the two.
One chant in particular that I heard a lot of, which you see how relevant it is to the hip hop generation. They would do this chant, hold your head up high, Panthers walking by. We're gonna clean out your ears, we're gonna open your eyes. And when in early rapping, you frequently heard it's almost like a mandate that you had to say dip, dip, die, so socialize, you clean out your ears, and then you open your eyes. And you know, this is like a Panther chant. Also of interest is that when you say dibby dibby dies, you that's also a Louis Armstrong type of scat.
I try to tell you guys that is how we always talked, right? That would be our culture. That was in our culture. That's what we brought to hip hop and made it a culturally thing. We ain't talking about who was out there dancing with us, okay? We already had the dance. You had to learn to dance from us. We didn't learn to dance from you. Bronx, you were supposed to tell these stories, Bronx. You failed hip hop. The Bronx did. Y'all sitting up here getting all the damn glory, but in all reality, y'all didn't do nothing. Because we didn't have a term hip hop, but the culture damn sure was going to still be here. Our culture would have been here because Black people were always created a culture, right? And people always followed our culture. So even if you would have removed the name hip hop, we would have still been having parties. We would have still been talking the way we've been talking. We was always rapping. We were going to always have a party and have a DJ. It just would have been called something else. It probably would not have been called hip hop. It would have been called something else, but we were already doing it. So it and don't want to give the credits to the other boroughs. This is why we're having these conversations now, right? You want to leave out Mount Vernon. You want to leave out New Rochelle. You want to leave out Yonkers. You want to leave out Long Island. You want to leave out all these places, right? The same way Chuck D. Y'all want to leave out Chuck D. Nobody says when Chuck D moved to Long Island, right? We forgot Chuck D was born in Harlem. He took what he learned from Harlem and brought it up there to Long Island, right? They carried the CD tapes around, right? Even though he represent Long Island, but he's still from Harlem. He didn't say he got it from the damn Bronx. So you cannot leave them out because a lot of people moved out of the 5 boroughs and they crossed the street. And I literally mean They crossed the street. You crossed the street from the Bronx. When you crossed the street, you was in Mount Vernon. And if you crossed the street, you was in Yonkers. And if you crossed the street, you was in New Rochelle. Literally crossed the street. Okay? Not take a bus. All you did was cross the street. So that's how it was. So you cannot exclude them. But you excluded them too. You took all the credit. And I did not birth no real MC. I'll wait. Nobody did not put a real MC in early hip hop from the Bronx that put the Bronx on the map. I'm still waiting. I am still waiting. But for early hip hop, I can give you plenty from other boroughs. I can't give you none from the Bronx. As far as they parties, we weren't there. We weren't there. So whatever y'all say is whatever y'all say. I can't say you right. I can't say you wrong. We weren't there. But I do know that we didn't hear nothing that y'all was talking about. But y'all sure enough heard what we was talking about. Y'all sure enough heard what Harlem was talking about. Because Harlem was on the records. You sure enough heard what Brooklyn was talking about. You sure enough heard what Queens was talking about. But we sure enough didn't hear what the fuck y'all was talking about. We on the radio, not even on the radio, on the cassette tapes. Right? We ain't hear y'all. Because we would have said, hey, this MC blah, blah, blah from the Bronx. We ain't never said that in early hip hop. I don't want to hear about no damn dancing. I don't want to hear about no spray painting. That ain't had nothing to do with that microphone. Y'all didn't really know what to do with the microphone. Y'all didn't know what to do with the microphone. You had to hand that microphone over to Harlem. Harlem had to show you what to do with that microphone. Now, we did go out to Harlem, to them block parties in Harlem. They was nice. People did leave, but we didn't go to the Bronx. We didn't go to the Bronx. God damn it. Y'all want to make it a New York problem. We're going to make it a New York problem. New York going to tell the truth. Bronx, I'm going to keep telling you, Bronx, you have failed hip hop. Because you yourself didn't tell the truth. So being that you yourself didn't tell the truth, Bronx, that's why everybody can put whatever lie they want into hip hop. Because you yourself didn't tell the truth. You yourself said, oh no, they was doing disco. Did it fucking matter? None of the songs didn't belong to us. If y'all was doing more James Brown and they was doing more disco, they still were both DJs. They just chose to break it where they wanted to break it or loop it. They looped it and he did a merry-go-round, but they were still DJing for people. And then you want to take our forefathers out of it, not saying where you got it from. We all migrated from the South. All of our forefathers went to the East or they went to the West. You even took them out the equation, right? Even though it was our culture, but our grandparents and them came from the South. They wasn't playing New York songs in the house. They playing songs from Motown from Detroit. The OJs and them from Philadelphia. A lot of them artists, right? And then we all seen the same movies. We know where we got it from. That's why the culture, hip hop culture, yeah, that may have been from New York, and we made a big blast out of it. But technically, it belongs to all of us. It belongs to all American Black people. Now you want to show where all the people it came from, but you don't want to include the other boroughs. So you lied, so now they lying. So now we got to go around and fix your fucking lie. We got to go, the rest of New York now has to go around and fix the Bronx and the Bronx lies. Because you chose to leave not just the other boroughs out, you forgot the other parts of New York. You left them out and you left out your forefathers. Now everybody dig it in. Well, hey, even him right now. And not to mind you, these videos are old. So the proof was always there. The proof was always there. These videos I'm showing you are, as you can see, are old. These are not new videos. So the truth always been out there. Talking about, here go Busta Rhymes. Talking about they used to clash. Well, that ain't had to do with us. Clashing wouldn't have, first of all, New York wasn't clashing against each other that we call battles. We used to pass the mic, okay? We used to pass the mic and make up stuff and had a party. It was a good thing. Y'all was clashing later, Mr. Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes ain't give y'all a timeline for nothing. And y'all ate up what Busta Rhymes had to say. Right? Y'all ate it up. Fat Joe spoke upon the Bronx. Y'all ate up what Fat Joe said, but Fat Joe didn't bring up the parts of the other boroughs neither. And y'all ate it up. Y'all ate that bull crap up. He didn't say, oh yeah, when we used to go down into Queens and Queens was doing it like this and we was doing it like, he ain't say none of that shit. They kept it in the Bronx, which was incorrect. That was the first mistake, when you kept it in the Bronx. And people who stay, they just like I showed you guys when they did that movie Breaking, you couldn't have been part of hip hop, of the hip hop where it's 50-50, because even when you guys did Breaking, you still needed an MC. Who was the MC? Ice-T. Why would Ice-T be the MC? Because Ice-T is originally from New Jersey. He's not a West Coast. He moved to the West Coast, but he's originally from New Jersey. So that go to show you, by the time Breaking was out, hip hop already spread it. That we had to bring in Ice-T from Jersey. Because ain't nobody paid to see no movie just to see y'all dancing. And it didn't work. It didn't work. Watch the video from yesterday. It did not work. That's why Beat Street had to come out. That's why Beat Street had to come out, because Breaking didn't work. They wanted to see people on the microphone. They didn't want to see a bunch of people dancing, because by that time, the dance has changed. The dance has changed. So y'all want to make it like B-boy. Now, we was dancing before we was doing the pop and lock. Shit, our parents was doing everything. Tell them Mother Love Logic. Tell them Mother Love Logic. Tell them y'all done moved every part of y'all body when y'all was dancing back in the days. Tell them Mother Love Logic, damn it. Tell them. Tell them. Y'all was doing things when y'all was dancing our bodies can't do. They was flipping each other all over. I'm like, woo, they was doing some stuff. Our bodies can't do half of the dancing that they did. We did part of their dancing. We couldn't even do their full dancing. We couldn't even tap dance to where they was able to tap dance. Right? We always had dances. B-boy, stop. But that because I'm about sick of this shit. I'm so sick of every video come, yo, Brooklyn. Nah, y'all better blame that. I mean, talking about New York. Now blame that shit on the Bronx. Let's go.
So in a way, you're tying in both Malcolm X and Louis Armstrong.
Yes, just come on, brothers, if you want to hear a story about that preacher and the bear. Gather round, boys. I don't want you to miss none of this here story, because it goes like this. A preacher, he went out to hunt. It was on one Sunday morning. Though he was one Christian young man, but he took his gun along. Well, the first thing he shot was a bunch of fine quails, and he shot him a nice fat hare. Then through the woods on his way back home, he met a great big grizzly bear.
Frankie Crocker was a super humongous giant, and I think like I remember like a lot of those DJs they would be advertising their parties on WBLS back then. You know, I'm talking like in the 70s or whatever, and it was all a part of what made people want to be DJs. Have that dude to get on the mic to really just talk about the DJ. He would maybe say, throw your hands in the air, waving like you just don't care, things like that.
We hooked up with a guy named KC, Prince of Soul. And KC was a master MC.
First MC I can remember was KC, the Prince of Soul, in the 70s. Well, yeah. He was rapping for 1970. 1970. It could have been before then.
One of the first that ever rapped to the beat of music.
Rap.
One of the first.
Not DJ.
That ever did it.
A rapper.
Nature is taking back all that was once hers. We were the virus. Permanent payback.
A rapper, not a DJ. Let's go.
We're gonna let all hell break loose as we turn up the juice. Cause we're gonna take you up the ladder to the roof where we can see everything much better. From there to the sky on a natural high. So I want you to fly, fly, fly. Shake your head and wiggle your eyes. I wanna see it.
Then you had Hank Spann. And that's who KC, the Prince of Soul, tried to fashion himself after Hank Spann from WWRL.
And Hank used to say, put your foot on the rock pattern and don't you dare stop now. This is Hank Spann, wheeling and dealing from now until
WWRL. Hank Spann, put your foot on the rock panic and don't you dare stop.
And everything Hank Spann would say, I would write it down. I'd get my tape recorder and I would sit down and imitate Hank Spann.
Put your foot on the rock, cause that's your foot, don't stop. Put your foot on the rock. Put your foot on the rock, cause that's your foot, don't stop. Put your foot on the rock.
And the radio was playing, and I'm sitting there, and then I hear the guy,
Hollywood.
you know, he's rapping on the radio, and I'm like, I could do that. So then I started, oh, if I was a jug of wine, I would be old. If I was snow, I would be cold. But since none of this is true, and I'm right here with you, passing the time, doing what we got to do.
First, people just started talking on the mic, and he was one of them, you know, but they didn't have the full rhythm and didn't turn it over. But if you remember, it was the same music. All they did was do the voiceover, copy the music.
Yes, indeed, y'all. It's about that time to take you one step higher and set your next on bus right on fire. You jam it back with the sounds of new sounds. Hit a foot, walk light in your stride. One dip in your hip, make your knees freeze. A liver quiver, crack on your back. And if you can't dig that rest, you got to be at the wrong address because everybody's laughing and joking. New sounds will be right here.
I have not seen a Hispanic yet. Not saying the Hispanics are not in there, but if they are in there, we ain't spot them. And I'm not talking about once the Hispanic guys started coming around, the black guys, and the black guys wanted your women. But that you were still raised with a lot of them. They want to throw in, oh, well, Mello mother is black. He didn't know his Spanish side. So he is still Black American, right? AZ only lived a couple of blocks down from me. He was with the black kids. His mother is black. So Fat Joe's still trying to find a lifeline, right? I don't see the Jamaicans in there too. If they are Jamaicans, they're in there in the black culture, right? I keep telling you, this is what we did. And the people from the Failed Bronx people, they mentioned none of this. They haven't even showed their parties. Only thing they showed us was a damn flyer. We even got videos of the party type Brooklyn, Queens. I gotta keep saying Brooklyn and Queens because they right across the street. I mean, literally right across the street from each other, right? Right across the street. So they hop from here to there. right? We hot from here to there. Even when you had the artists that came out, why you think Brooklyn always said Brooklyn in the goddamn songs? You know how many songs got the word Brooklyn in it? Brooklyn was not playing. We wanted to let you know we were here. How many songs you hear the Bronx in it? But that one damn song wasn't for the Bronx. This rap shit with me going on. Uptown, baby. Uptown, baby. Make uptown. Ninja, why you had to say that? Because y'all ain't had nobody else. Y'all ain't had nobody else. Oh no, baby, that's a lie, Mr. Tyree. That's why you didn't have all them damn babies, because you are confused. You are confused. We was always getting down, baby. We was getting down for that crown. Even when we talk now, we still rhyme when we talk. If you notice, when a lot of black people, even them on YouTube, you notice we still rhyme when we talk. You know why? It's in us. It's in us to rhyme when we talk. We don't even know that we are even doing that. We don't know that we're doing it because it's in us. Let's go.
Yeah, cooking. Let's go.
And that's where the rap started from, and it picked up from there. But it was the same exact music we were playing, and somebody got up there and started talking.
Hey,
let's go to work. Come on.
Now that was my jam right there. That
Get
beat.
the bone out your back, boy. Everybody, get the bone out your back, girl. Now I started doing that by saying, when I say this, you say that.
Then it went into a whole nother era, and then everybody would say to the hip, the hop, the hibby dibby dibby. You know, everybody said that, and that's why I became known as hip hop.
Celebrate, just keep the same old beat. About a while ago, when I want you to know what you do, you've been listening to. I am the voice of King Tim III. Tell you what I want you to do. A little left hand, right hand in the air, and you fail like you just don't care. You put the left leg out, the right leg in, save the hustlers out, and the rockers in.
Oh, baby, I'll give you the link. I'll give you the link. You better tell me about yourself if you want this link, buddy. I will drop this link so fast. You hold your horses, the real Rican. You drop it. I want you to. I want you to. Come on. Come on. You better. I want to hear about you and your experience. I don't want to hear about no history, nothing. Damn it. I'm sick. I am sick of this shit right now. Let's go. Come on, the real Rican. Let's go. I'm sick of this. Let's go. Click, click, and click. Yes, how may I help you?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing? Happy New Year.
I am fine. And
That's
you,
what's
happy New Year's too, sir.
word, man. Yo, I think I saw the title. It kind of hurt my feelings a little bit, but however, you know what I'm saying. I just think the whole topic and how they run in hip hop today is sad. You know what I'm saying? It's not even fun no more.
I must agree.
It's not fun no more.
The Bronx has failed hip hop
Now, why you say that?
because we were they wanted to exclude the other boroughs, and you cannot, because each boroughs wasn't running to each borough. We all was doing the same thing. It just didn't have a name.
It just didn't have a name.
But we all from all our parents and stuff is from the South, right? Gotta remember, New York is a seasonal place, right? So the parties will only be held in the summer, and so.
But not everybody parents from the South.
Let me finish. Right, majority. I'm talking about Black Americans, right? Black Americans parents are from the South. They migrated from the South. Then they went to the East. Then they went to the West and scattered all around. Okay. Now, New York is seasonal because of the seasons. right? Because of the seasons. So we had 6 weeks to party in the park, right? And all the rest of the house parties, like I said, I'm not here to dispute what went down in the Bronx. What I can say is we didn't know. So it's not our history. We have Brooklyn and Queens have their history. Manhattan has their history. New Rochelle, Yonkers, Mount Vernon, all of them have history too, because we were all out there in the park. The park just wasn't made in the Bronx. Bronx was in all boroughs. Everybody brought them speakers out because it was too hot in the house, right? I can come with where the details is at that would put us outside. And most of the parties were not in the parks. They was right in the PJs. We was not leaving no damn Brooklyn to go to no Cool Herc party. We had our own set of DJs. We didn't learn nothing from them. We always had somebody who kept the party rocking, right? The only difference was he started using James Brown beats and was scratching, where ours was more looping, but we were still doing the same thing, right? If the Bronx did a disservice by excluding the other boroughs to make it seem like it just started then, everything started. No, that's not how it went down. We still living. We could tell a story. I'm still alive. Now, you can go right ahead, my brother, and take your time and say what you have to say.
I appreciate you, man. So I don't totally agree with the exclusion of different boroughs. And it wasn't necessary. And when there was exclusion,
Well,
it
hold on,
wasn't necessarily.
hold on. How old are you?
I'm 45. Now, listen. So it wasn't most of the people's. The divisions mostly came from the gangs. You understand what I'm
No,
saying?
that's not where the divisions came from. The division, from when I was living, it had nothing to do. Now, were there gangs? Yes. But remember, every borough is different. We wasn't traveling on that long ass train ride to go up there. So whatever the spades or whatever they was doing had nothing to do with Brooklyn. It had nothing to do with Queens. It had nothing to do with us. They wasn't coming down there bothering us, and we know nothing about them. And we didn't have that gang culture like that in the other boroughs, right? And if they did, they had nothing to do with the parties. The parties wasn't about the gang. The parties was about it's hot in your house, everybody outside, right? Remember, this is what I lived, right? So when you could carry on, that's what I have to correct you with
Oh
certain
no,
things.
I was saying bye to somebody. Hold on. Now, I could disagree without disrespecting. I mean, you asked me to, you was long winded, and you told me to say what I had to say. Then you cut me off to tell me how hot it was in the house. And that's why we had to throw a party outside. You know what I'm saying? And I could dig it. You feel me? I mean, yeah, it do be hot in the house. You know, especially back in those times. And New York don't really have central heat. I mean,
Right.
air. You know what I'm saying? So you had to buy air conditioners and all
We
that. So
didn't
I
have
kind of
air
got it.
conditioners. So we didn't even have windows to fit the air conditioners the way the windows were made. But go ahead.
But at least back, I don't know how old you are, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But where you from?
I'm from Brooklyn. And
That's
I've been
what's
to
up.
every borough, family all uptown. So I'm a native New York. I done hit every
Me too,
borough.
me too. I done hit every borough. The only borough I'm not really familiar with that much, I only been there 2 times, maybe 3 times in my whole life, is Staten Island. Like I don't really know Staten Island much at all, you know what I'm saying? But as far as, you know what I'm saying, all the other boroughs and Yonkers, you know what I mean? I'm very familiar with those areas, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. I don't know what it is with this hip hop topic. You know what I'm saying? There's all types of. You know what I think is sad too? That we be having all this information and everybody got this information and that information and none of the information lines up to the motherfucking
It's
same
not
shit.
supposed to line up. See, that's what's so great about hip hop, right? Because if we're still living, then we are giving our experience, right? Your experience is not supposed to line up with my experience, right? Because we're in 2 different places. Now we're at the same place at the same time watching the same thing, then it's supposed to line up. Right now, if you say this how we did it out here, right, I can't disagree with that, and I cannot line up with you. I'm not over there. I'm over here.
That's dope, yo. But listen, you know what I think is one of the biggest issues though that outsiders outside of New York are having right now. To me, they don't understand that this is New York City urban street culture, and I believe that a lot of this stuff was going on way before it's got its name. You know what I'm saying? Way before people knew what to call it. You know what I'm saying? Because all I know is New York. I don't know about a lot of other places. You know what I'm saying? Most of my life, I'm in Texas now, but I only been here 4 years. Most of my life been in the Bronx, New York. You know what I'm saying? And in the East Coast, period, right? So when I hear people from outside of New York talk about, yo, who started this and who started that? Was there Puerto Ricans there? Was there blacks there? Where the Jamaicans was at? I don't think they really understand what it's like living in New York, man. Everybody's there.
Whoa. But see again, this is where the people who are alive can tell you how was it like in the early 70s, right? And then my aunts and uncles could say this how it was in the late 50s.
Just like my mother and father.
Right.
To say how it was.
Right, exactly. So if me saying, hey, I remember well, when the Hispanics, when they was coming in, well, we didn't have too many Hispanics in our area, right? That would be certain parts.
That's Brooklyn.
No, I hold up. Certain parts of Brooklyn did have parts where a lot of Hispanics was.
Like
right?
Bushwick.
Right, exactly. That's why I said hold up, right? Like Bushwick was one. But a lot of them didn't allow their kids to play with us. I'm not going to say
that was vice versa.
Right. No, that is not vice versa. Our parents.
Yeah, it was both ways.
No, sir. No, it was not both ways, sir. And as I was getting ready to say, it's not because it wasn't a dislike thing or whatever. Sometimes it just could have been because it was a language barrier. Right. So while I'm hanging with you, if I hear I don't know what you're saying, you don't know what I'm saying, right? It could have just been a language barrier. It could have been a thing we just got here. We don't know them. Sometimes things are not bad. Why people didn't hang together. It could be a lot of other different reasons. That's natural, right? It could be like, why I'm gonna hang with you? Yeah, we could play together, but if I don't understand you, you don't understand me, I'm gonna go to whom I can understand. These are kids we're talking about. These are kids. So a lot of things are not done out of malice. But we're not going to act like it didn't exist. And because of some of these little reasons, we were not together. We was around each other, but we were not together. And I think language plays a big barrier. A lot of them did not come here speaking English. And a lot of us here as kids wasn't bilingual, correct?
Yeah, of course.
So that would be one of the reasons why we were not together. Could that be possibly one of the reasons?
Yeah, but a lot of times, you know what I'm saying? Like lately, I've been hearing, like if the Puerto Ricans were racist for some reason and didn't want their kids to know them. That's not true.
That could be
There's a
in some
racist in
people's
every race.
places.
There's a racist in every group. You know what I'm saying?
That could be in some places, but where I do know that when it comes down to the West Indians, they didn't let their kids play with us, right? The Hispanics, they didn't let nobody. So we all, Black America, we all we had, right? And then as time went by, right? As time went by, a couple of them hung with us, or a couple of us hung with them, right? As time went by. But far as early hip hop, that would be a no, right? That would be just a couple, right? And then that will be in the Bronx. That would not be in the other boroughs, right? That's why I said the Bronx has failed hip hop because of, and again, a lot of Latinos ain't even in the middle of all of this. That's how I know. Don't get me wrong. That's how I know you ain't have 50% of hip hop, because the boroughs had their beef. Now they could have had beef with the boroughs too, but I'm talking about the black ones, right? Boroughs always had beef. That's why you can't even say I'm from New York. This is the most I've heard New York in my life, because each borough tell you a borough they from and represent their borough. They ain't never say, even if you go to a party, I don't care where you go, they'll go Atlanta in the house, yay. Philly in the house, yay. When it comes down to New York, they'll go Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan. They know, everybody know we have to be separated. Even in our songs, we have to let you know we from Brooklyn. We have to let you know, right? And then the Bronx haven't really produced. They haven't even really produced put in the early hip hop, put hip hop on the map. Who put hip hop on the map? Go ahead, Latin Pain. Name a Bronx artist who put hip hop on the map, or name the first artist who put hip hop on the map. Latin Pain. You got to Google, right? See, there is. See, there is none. There is no. That's why I say the Bronx, the Latin people. This is how you know they don't have 50%, because this borough beef been going on for years, up until today. And this is why we're in this problem. Because see, I can ask questions, right? I ask questions and I bring receipts, right? I'm not just the receipt. I'm just not the receipt. I bring receipts. And it's a shame that I have to now show you other DJs and what they was doing in other boroughs that has been taken out of history, which they should be in history also. Bronx failed us. I think I know more about hip hop and their artists more than my own town. Right? It's 45, so they gotta go, I think, right? Even though 45 is not young, it's not young, but by the time he probably started getting into hip hop, right? It wasn't 45 years ago, right? If he's 45, he probably didn't start really getting into hip hop until he was like 10, right? So that'd be 35 years ago. That'd be about 35 years ago. Keep telling you, hip hop is a culture, right? It's a culture, right? Just like in LA, the Bay don't act like Long Beach, right? You know how big? Matter of fact, I'm gonna say New York City, right? But we still got the whole entire New York. This is just the boroughs, is just the city. We still got the whole entire state. Even when you go talk about other states, everybody in Philly don't act the same. One set of Philly, side of Philly, even in Chicago, they always go south. You always hear to go south side or from the north side. They tell you that for a reason, because the culture is, even though they're doing the same thing, the culture is a little different, right? They act a little different, right? Y'all do y'all stuff over there, y'all do it over there, right? Even when hip hop went to California, they made it their business to say Compton. They made it their business to say LBC. Yeah. They made it their business to say, I'm from the Bay. They made it their business. They didn't just go LA rapper, but that's what the Bronx did. That's what the Bronx did to the rest of the boroughs. They made it seem like it, when people hear of hip hop, we like the untold stories. And remember, these videos are old. They old. So this information been out forever. It ain't new. So if you're not from New York, you have a better chance of talking to me about the history part. But if you're from New York, please don't come up here. Come up and talk about, well, I got to understand. Ninja, I don't have to understand. The fuck, I was little. I was born. What I got on? You ain't got to convince me as a melting pot. God damn it, it wasn't right. You ain't got to convince me we all hung together. We did not. You're going to have to do that with somebody else. And like I said, it probably wasn't a thing out of malice. I don't know. I can't tell you why, but I can tell you that it was not. Why? So I'm not here to debunk. I'm here to add in other parts of hip hop. That's what this video is about. I'm not here to debunk. I'm saying I am not even trying to debunk the Bronx. I'm saying they failed us because, again, because of what goes on in the boroughs, they excluded all the things that the other boroughs brought to their table. So now anybody can say what they want and keep bringing it back to the Bronx. Absolutely not. And nobody bothered, who call themselves hip hop hysterians, nobody bothered to even sit up there and do real research. So no, you talk to them non-New York, and I'm tired of non-New Yorkers blaming New York. Well, it's y'all fault. No, you don't even know how it is. You ain't do no research yourself. You got all this research, and you didn't even research how the boroughs react with one another. You didn't research how things get down. Stop it. That's like me coming to your house telling you something. No. Let me go back a little bit. Because he wasn't ready. And well, it come out of gangs. Ninja, you ain't ready for me. In the Bronx, they had them gangs like that. They did have gangs, but hip-hop and other boroughs did not come out of gangs. They didn't come out of gangs. It came, so you're trying to say it was always gangs, but that's not where hip-hop came out of, where we from. Maybe from in the Bronx, but not here. Not here. It came from bringing music outside. Is that plain and is that simple? You have to have a gang to want to dance to music. You needed a gang. You needed a gang to bring, at that point, a radio. People wasn't even bringing big speakers outside because they couldn't afford it. They started with a fucking radio and a cassette tape, sir. He just 45. He wouldn't even know about the other event that happened when everybody got the big speakers. Okay? Okay.
Yes, because while everybody's laughing and joking, new sounds will be right here cooking and smoking.
and that's where the rap started from, and it picked up from there. But it was the same exact music we were playing, and somebody got up there and started talking.
Hey,
let's go to work. Come on.
Hey,
let's go to work. Get the bone out your back, boy. Everybody, get the bone out your back, girl. Now I started doing that by saying, when I say this, you say that.
Then it went into a whole nother era, and then everybody would say to the hip, the hop, the hibby dibby dibby. You know, everybody said that, and that's why it became known as hip hop.
Celebrate, it just keeps the same old beat. About a while ago, and I want you to know what you do. You've been listening to. I am the voice of King Tim the Third. Tell you what I want you to do. A little left hand, right hand in the air, and you swing like you just don't care. You put the left leg out, the right leg in, say the hustlers out, and the rock is it.
Grandmaster Flowers was a Brooklyn DJ that was known as the mixologist. He played from the late 1960s to the late 1970s in the parks of Brooklyn and eventually made it to the clubs downtown. He's also noted to be the first Grandmaster.
Flowers came from the Farragut Project, 237 Nassau Street. He started playing music in the 60s when he was in junior high school. He started out in a club down on Flatbush Avenue, 243 Club, which was down by Flatbush and Myrtle.
I worked with him in the early 70s, but he was doing it much before
You see that?
And
Before
I
her.
have the documented proof with flyers to show you.
I wanted to show you that predates Herc. That predates Cool Herc. But y'all ain't heard me though. But y'all ain't hear me though. But y'all ain't hear me though. But y'all ain't hear me though. That predates DJ Herc. Cool Herc.
One night we were playing at a club called the New World, and one of the promoters there had drawn up a flyer, and he put music by Flowers, The Wizard of Oz. And I took the flyer home, I reworked it, I brought it back, and I named him the Grandmaster Flowers because of the...
Yeah, see? Before Lincoln's birthday, Grandmaster Flowers.
type of music that he played.
On West Indian Parade Day, Labor Day, he used to be the only one in Washington Park playing club music, the mixologist.
He went up against these West Indians. They was called Starlight Disco, I think.
They say he went up against the West Indians, right? So why would you go up against the West Indians playing your music if you was part of hip hop? Busta Rhymes, why would we go up against you if it wasn't for you? We wouldn't have hip hop, Mr. Busta Rhymes. Well, let's go.
Starlight Disco, and then they had the parade going on, and Flowers just plugged his stuff up and started playing.
Yeah. Hey, I remember those days. God damn it. Those were the good days. They said, damn that Eastern Parkway shit.
And he tore the whole crowd up. Everybody that was American came over to his side of the park, and that's when I knew he was a tremendous dude, man.
Now, but hold up.
Flowers was so popular just in Brooklyn and Manhattan.
Oops. Now, if we got the partying and the speakers from the Jamaicans, as Busta Rhymes say, right? And we clash with them. Why did we did not want to hear the Jamaican music? And why did we blast their ass out? And you notice he said the Americans showed out. The Black Americans showed out. He like, damn, that blood clot, rust clot, ish. I'm going to play this, right? I'm going to play this. Y'all gonna stop playing with me. Y'all gonna stop playing with me. Let's go.
His flyer would be on 4 or 5 flyers the same night, and he could not be there.
He knew how to put music together and how to keep a crowd on the floor. I've seen a lot of DJs play the same music that he's played, but they can never hold the crowd.
I used to always go to all his parties back in the 70s. Every Sunday, we used to go to Reese Park. And we used to be there all day until the day end.
When I was in Brooklyn, I used to go to Reese Beach with my uncle, and they would have jams outside.
That's
Grandmaster
far
Flowers was the main DJ out there on the beach. You know, you'd have other DJs that was out there, DJ Jones and all the other DJs would be out there, but the cats from Brooklyn, you know, it was like Flowers is gonna be there, you know, so we're like, okay, that's gonna be hot.
So why Kool Herc ass wasn't out there? He the founder, right? Why Kool Herc was not out there then? Why everybody didn't go to Reese Beach and to see Kool Herc? I'll wait. Bronx. Why was they all coming to see Flowers? Why Flowers was known everywhere and Kool Herc was not Bronx? Huh? Now this other lady. Now y'all just see this is Ralph McDaniels, right? It's another lady. She did a video claiming she spoke to the guy Ralph McDaniels. Now this predates what the hell she's talking about, and he's talking about Flowers. So we already know her name, Miss Tina Torres, is lying because she said hip hop is the bastard music. Oh God, of Latino music was Latino music, came out of black music, not Afro black. But the real American black. Well, let's carry on. Burning, keep the whole body yearning. Ooh, you got me sticking through the shade. Times I think I'm going insane. Now, I ain't gonna keep stopping it, but if one of the forefathers, because DJ Kool Herc is still one of the forefathers. Where your parties at, Herc? DJ Kool Herc, where your party? Where the videos of your parties? Why Flowers got more videos? Why more people got Flowers' name up in their mouth? And why Flowers got more videos? I mean, y'all the creators and it all started there. So wouldn't you have more stuff than Flowers? Because Flowers predates Herc. But even though he predates DJ Kool Herc, what I'm saying is, where is the videos, Kool Herc? I ain't talking about no damn Flower. I want to see you getting down and stuff. Mm-hmm.
In 1974, 1975, there was a big gang fight out there, and that's when the federal government took over Reese Beach, and they just stopped the music altogether.
It was amongst the first to create a thirst for unique records that nobody else had. Rumor has it, he was the first one to break the song, so Makosa in the United States before the radio stations even had it.
Flowers just played, you know, like just records that you never heard before. To this day, some records I never could ever find.
Everyone was used to playing A-sides, and Flowers would go to the B-sides. But a lot of the newer music that Flowers played, no one else was able to get.
When you heard records, you really wasn't hearing these records nowhere else before. You know what I'm saying? Like the records that any of these DJs played. And I'm talking about the Pete, DJ Jones people. I'm talking about Plummer, Maboya. I'm talking about Flowers, the original Grandmaster Flash. That's where Grandmaster Flash got his Grandmaster from. Grandmaster Flowers, a Brooklyn cat.
Flowers, his sister, they would steal his speakers, steal his equipment. We would sleep in his van sometimes. So they wouldn't take his equipment so he could play the next day.
It was back in, I think it was the late 80s or 90s. I'm not sure of the date. I found out that the Grandmaster had passed away. You know, even now that I think of it, it's still, you know, I lost a friend. I lost a good friend. To be so close to somebody and just to lose him like that. But he's the Grandmaster. And long live you, brother, wherever you are. As far as his name, Grandmaster Flash, You're not the Grand Master. I'll give you the respect, but you're not a Grand Master. There's only one, and he's gone.
By 1972, New Sounds was a group out of East Elmhurst, Queens, known throughout the city in various clubs for their exceptional fluid mixes. Honing their skills at 127 Park, aka Bootyland, in the early 1970s, they set the standard that many patterned themselves after. With JD and Greg Love on the mic, New Sounds was a force to be reckoned with.
That will be
Really doesn't just improve the style of your writing. It all
we still ain't get to the Bronx yet.
Ricky had his own style, and then he had a big sound system to back him up. One of the biggest sound systems, you know, at that age.
Through the DJ circle.
Ricky Grant was, him and his brothers both was like super genius, especially Ricky in mathematics, geometry. I remember the first time we had a battle with him in St. Gabriel's. He built 4 bass bottoms in St. Gabriel's.
When a highly anticipated movie came out in 1974 called Earthquake, it boasted of its new technology with sense-around speakers. New Sounds engineers were able to rebuild the speakers to the same specs, and the term Earthquake speakers came into effect.
The equipment we had, the speakers, were probably the best in the city, and they were hand-built by us. You know, we put the money up, we bought the tools, and we actually...
You're a liar. No, that's the Jamaicans did that. The Jamaicans did that.
We got some books, and we worked out the formulas and built the speakers to specs. And we had industrial Sherwin Vegas, Earthquake speakers.
We had the power. You know, when we said that we had over 5,000 watts of power pushing our system, that was no exaggeration.
The mid-range speakers were JBL's 15 and 12 inches. And the mid-bass was Gauss. And the low bass was the Sherwin Vega Earthquakes. The dampening factor was adjustable.
Ricky Grant was the first one to take a Sony MX-14 mixer and take channels 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and so you control each volume from the turntable. Then from that, he figured out how to wide jack it so you can just go from, instead of 2 to 1. And then from that, slick ass engineers at GLI saw the idea, copied it, came out with the first 3800. They stole ideas from Ricky Grant.
Once very dedicated to playing music in the parks, which they made a very popular thing to do in Queens, the group moved on to the club scene in the latter part of the 1970s.
We had like a couple of people dance on top of the speakers. And in fear of people falling off because it got so crowded, you know, they had to stop the music and tell the crowd to please get off the speakers.
Listen, I asked y'all not to stand on top of them cabinets. Now I'm not gonna ask you no goddamn more.
That sound like a black man to me.
Out of this area. I don't want y'all inside here. Sitting on the speakers, back here, out, please.
You know, because that's how huge they were. New Sounds, they branched off into having their own label. New Sounds. Let's see. Yep, New Sounds. New Sounds. You know, helping other local brothers and sisters get albums, put their music together and put it on wax, as they say. You know, that was a big thing.
Nah, that was the Bronx.
Soon the importance of a great sound system to draw a crowd and build a name was every DJ's goal. It was Queen's DJ Donnie, the dance master, known for his Richard Long sound system.
One of the nicest guys had to be Donnie Long's dance master. He was like so special. You know, he had a sound system that was so ahead of everybody's. So he outclassed everybody at one time, you know. So I enjoyed working with him because when you put his picture on a flyer, you put his name on a flyer, you drew a certain kind of crowd with him. You drew a really nice crowd. You didn't draw the knuckleheads. So I enjoyed working with Donnie Dance Master.
Now, not at one point did you hear them say, hey, we heard them cats in the Bronx. So after we heard them cats from the Bronx, we said we could do it, right? At now one point, when they were speaking upon Flowers, who predates DJ Kool Herc, who predates Grandmaster Flash, because the name Grandmaster, the Grand Wizard, that comes from out of Brooklyn, right? The Grandmaster itself comes from out of Brooklyn. Just the name itself comes from out of Brooklyn. At not at one point did you hear any of them mention the word Bronx so far. They didn't mention nothing about the Bronx. Let's go.
For that reason, Richard Long built the sound systems for Studio 54, the Loft, and the Garage, just to name a few. Donnie acquired the mobile version and blew everyone away.
One of the first DJs that came out with a full system that
we built our own
was
stuff,
the most
Buster.
high fidelity system I ever heard happened to be Dance Master.
The Dance Master, one of the first guys who had a complete GLI sound system, and from that went to the legendary Richard Long.
One day he just showed up with this Richard Long system, and our jaws just dropped because until then, everyone was buying pieces of systems and making and amassing their system.
Dance Master speakers were called birthers. They were so powerful they could be heard from blocks away.
The first guy to have birthdays and all the every other type of incredible sound speaker Richard Long could make.
Very clean, very efficient. And that was the system
That's
that
a lie.
were being used
Jamaica did
in
it.
places like Studio 54, the Garage, a few other major clubs, Regimes. Basically, he came up with the first mobile version of that system.
No, it was
Richard
Jamaica.
Long owned the patent to the turntable coffin. He was the one who invented the coffin.
Yeah.
And the first person that had a mobile coffin was Dance Master and the Disco Twins. And it was a Richard Long, weighed a ton, need 10 people to lift the coffin.
1979, 1980, we seen Donnie Lawrence with his Richard Long sound system, which was called the Bertha. And he was, I think he was the first one to have a console deck.
But the console looked like a coffin. So, you know, it was very different.
And
not at one point in time to our 50% people, right? Our 50% people, I keep telling you guys, the Bronx has failed hip hop, right? You let somebody like Busta Rhymes say where the speakers came from, where we were making them ourselves, right? We were making patents ourselves. That's how creative we are. You didn't hear them say Rico helped us, Juan helped us. These were your American black people. They said Homeboy from New Sounds were intelligent to the point that they stole how he did the thing, the switch, because he didn't know, he wasn't that smart. He didn't know to patent what he did, but it was stolen, right? So as Brooklyn and Queens is coming up with these things, guess where it goes? To the Bronx, because it wasn't created in the Bronx. It was created between Brooklyn and Queens, but you don't want to give Brooklyn and Queens their props, right? But a lot of the things that it came from Brooklyn and Queens. That would still be part of hip hop history, and it will also be part of we some smart ass people. We are creators and some smart ass people. You didn't hear them say, hey, our Puerto Rican brothers, which, like I said, this is not to debunk them nor to disrespect them, but you didn't hear them mention them helping them at no time. Again, this is still all us, right? This is still all us. Right? I don't see where our 50%, our other 50%, where you at? 50%, Joe? Joe, go find your 50%, please, that you're talking about, and tell us how all of this information is out. And tell us your 50% brothers, please. I'll wait. Let's go.
He was able to come out in the park, 5 minutes, he was plugged in, turned on, and playing.
I would play on the weekends, and big crowd would turn out. Folks would come, sell hot dogs, the ice cream, and you have parents would bring the kids, and it would be a very large turnout.
He used to play right there. Right? Every time he could, right there in the softball field, in the sun. Records used to walk. We used to sit out there and laugh at him. And we say, me and Falk used to say, he's going to be good because he's here every week practicing, playing in front of everybody. And every week, his sound got better and better. And like I said, he was the first one playing in major clubs, just bringing his records and getting paid for it. So don't believe none of the crap you hear about this one and that one making money spinning. He was the first one spinning out of the country making money.
Before becoming a full-time DJ, I did played as a guest DJ at Studio 54, Lake Club, Cal Morocco, Paradise Garage, Silver Palace. I belonged to Record Pool, and I would get records that none of the DJs could get, because I believe most of these DJs would probably purchase the records then. It was whereas I would get records way in advance that were promotional copies.
Daddy didn't spend too long out in the mobile world because of the fact that he had a Richard Long system and had some connections on that end. He went off in Regine's. And Regine's was like the revered club. Aside from Studio 54, who's who in the world came to Regine's.
As the years go by, the equipment gets better. Belt drive becomes direct drive turntable.
The thing about it in those days, you only had 7-inch 45s.
Right.
It had a limited amount. So to play a 5-6 hour party, you were stuck in the mud, man. So we had to figure out you had to be inventive, man. So that's when we started playing the grooves on the record. I learned how to read the grooves. I had me a flashlight to shine on the groove, and I could almost hit the groove every time. Not on beat, but chop it.
Right. You had to look at the groove of the record, and that was where the funky beat was at, and you would put your needle on that part of the record, and that funky beat would come on because the groove was so heavy.
We never cued music. It was just putting a needle on a record and grabbing it where you thought it was about to begin, and then mixing it in. But there was no cueing back then.
Now, a lot of people saying the scratching wasn't art from Jump Street. It wasn't. Scratching was when you didn't have a cueing system, you keep scratching your records to cue it up.
There was no such thing as a mixer. There was a such thing as a switch.
The GLI mix invented. Now DJs could go from one record to another continuously.
So we started playing to stretch our music. Sometimes we play a record at the beginning, in the middle, started over again, played at the end until they get tired of it. Then you come with the next record.
Keeping the crowd's energy hype becomes easy at this point because the 12-inch record is introduced with longer break parts. The DJs are able to extend the record, and songs are manipulated and mixed in various ways.
Oh my goodness. Does that sound like Brooklyn and Bronx played a part in this? So, oh my gosh. This the history. They don't. The Bronx, terrible, nasty little secret. And when I do this, I'm gonna do this video over too on my other channel. It's gonna be called the Bronx Dirty Little Secret. Right? How you gonna put that fader there? How y'all was playing with the fader and don't include us in hip hop? You're gonna include this 50% people. And you're gonna include the speakers. He didn't even tell you what type of speaker, Buster. I ain't here to disrespect them. We just here to tell the truth. Right? You're going to tell us about what that music and then they're clashing. Damn it, we wasn't clashing. We was partying. We wasn't clashing. And then the fader was made. Why you didn't put Queens up in that? Why you want to include Queens, Bronx? You failed hip-hop. And now we got all these people talking all this shit. You got wasn't for the fader and all the rest of that stuff. Kool Herc, what Kool Herc gonna do? What DJ Kool Herc gonna do? Until Brooklyn and Queens come up with these inventions, right? Y'all gonna act like we wasn't into music too. Now, actually, this could have been done anywhere. See, this is why New York take the credit. And this is why y'all mad at New York. Please stop being that mad at New York because everybody had parties. It is not our fault that we came up with these things first. Y'all could have came up with this stuff first too. But guess what? They was partying out there too. They was partying too. They partied everywhere. They always party. This is the Bronx dirty little secret. The dirty little secret. They don't want to admit Harlem. Harlem. Them cats from Harlem had that swag. That put in me. I ain't here to talk about. I'm talking about New York City. What part all of them played. All of them played the part. The MC founders does not come MC. That means a person with that microphone. The founders does not come from the Bronx. Does not. Until Harlem puts it on the map. Right? It's still being played, but it ain't on the map. It ain't on the map. And there was a lot of people out, not just Curtis Blow. You think when we was out there in them parties, we just was to know it was other people. But it was something about Harlem and Curtis Blow that people was flocking to, right? Far as the creative and the DJing, that don't go to Kool Herc, but we gave it to him. We gave it to him, but it don't go to him. But how dare you not mention the twins? How dare you not mention Flowers? But we want to mention Mario. Okay, but Mario is other mention all the damn DJs. They all played a part.
Immediately they came out with a whole instrumental side and longer beats, longer break parts in the middle.
Listen, you want to skip this ad? I would too. But what if I told you there's a skip ads for everybody?
It was a big album that spent at 45 speed. And the first 12-inch they ever made was called 10%
yes,
of Nothing.
10% of nothing.
It was by Double Exposure.
At all
the DJs in the circle that I was in, Grandmaster Flowers, Plummer, even the Queen DJs like New Sound and those guys that played around that time, they all did the same thing, played the beat part, had a jump part. It was known throughout the circle that's a jump part.
Mixing records and getting the second record right on beat can now be mastered because of the new queuing system.
And I seen a guy with the headphone. And I'm like, what's the headphone about? He said, he's listening to that track. One other track is playing. I said, he's listening to the record before it comes on? He said, yeah, that's how we do it.
The music that was played in the parks, you didn't hear on the radio. This was a subculture. While the rest of the country was watching Soul Train, a culture of sound was being born in the streets of New York. The DJs had no idea what was about to happen. People start traveling outside their neighborhoods to park jams.
Yep.
Everybody's doing it. DJs are popping up all over the city.
Key was learning how to mix.
See, everybody was doing it. Everybody, well, I tell you, I told you that before, and I tell you, it was a DJ everywhere, right? And it's a shame. The voice that I hear that's talking would be Chuck D. Chuck D knows the truth. Chuck D can put a stop to a lot of this shit. Or we could say that Chuck D did put a stop to it when he made this and nobody saw it. Right? That's Chuck D that's illustrating the damn video. So Chuck D knows the truth. Right? Chuck D from Harlem, so he knows the swagger Harlem has. Then he moved out there to Strong Island, right? So he know how it is out there. So he know it's not just a Bronx thing. People know the truth. They know the truth. Tell it. Tell it. You can hear his voice, right, Mother Love? Uh-huh. See, this is why they don't come to the smaller channels. They don't come watch us because the smaller channels got the good stuff. The bigger channels do not, right? They know the truth is what. That's why I love looking at smaller channels. Because smaller channels, they get tired of the bullshit and they want to tell the truth. But they just, because of the algorithm, nobody's going to hear it, right? Because the algorithm, it doesn't put them in people's algorithm. You have to search when you want information. Try to search for the people who is not a big channel. The smaller channel is going to give you the truth because they started the channel because of the bull crap. So they're going to give you the truth, but a lot of truth go hidden because they're not in the algorithm, right? So let's go. But this is Chuck D's voice. Let's go.
Love is the message. You can mix
Yes!
Love is the message, the original.
Yes, you can.
3-minute version.
Yes, you can.
Mix it from start to beginning, back again, where no one knows it. Then you know you're ready to play the party.
Love is the message. Love is the message.
You're always gonna hear "Love is the message." You could count on that. There were certain joints like that you could count on.
Love is the message. You know, it used to be known as the anthem in Brooklyn back then.
But back in the days, it was just so fun to see the whole park crowded and just waiting for Lance to throw that one record to make everybody go, ah!
That's right.
All the speakers. Really, after that, he moved in a couple of years on 104th Street, and there he started to build a system. Basically, even then, he was playing music for fun.
King Charles had a powerhouse system. He hired the best young talented DJs in his neighborhood to help deliver his music.
King Charles. This is the man, King Charles. He put me on. Falk, stupid ass Raymond. Almost forgot about him. Raymond, if you see this in Florida, fuck you. I still love you, though. Spent every dime. He should take his wife's money to buy fucking equipment. He was the first man to have Crown amplifiers, the first man to have fucking a heavy ass Macintosh amp that weighed 150 pounds. At the end of the night, we used to draw straws. Who with two people would carry the fucking amp?
Charlie had the system.
And then he bring
everybody and everyone.
And you know it's a shame. You know it's a shame. Do you see that man right there? Look how hip hop did him, right? You have artists of today calling people broke. You broke. You ain't got no money. Look at my watch. Look at my chain. Look at my gold teeth. And you got somebody like him who helped is one of the forefathers, ain't got nothing. And hip hop don't even take care of him. Hip hop don't even take care of him. They don't even say thank you. They didn't even have the courtesy to mention the man's name. They didn't have the common courtesy to even mention the man's name. How bad? Oh, it's a fight. That's the dogs, boy. They the boy. These dogs got some hands on them. They don't fight like dogs. They throw hands up in here. Ooh. Oh, yo. I got them.
End of story. I'm getting back on track with Factor.
But see, now it all comes now.
On 104th Street, and there he started to build a system. Basically, even then he was playing music for fun.
King Charles had a powerhouse system, and he hired the best young talented DJs in his to help deliver his music.
King Charles. This is the man, King Charles. He put me on Falk, stupid ass Raymond. Almost forgot about him. Raymond, if you see this in Florida, fuck you. I still love you though. Spend every dime. You should take his wife's money to buy fucking equipment.
He used to take his wife's money to buy equipment. They can't even mention the man's name. Bronx, you have failed hip hop. Bronx, you have failed hip hop.
He was the first man to have crown amplifiers, the first man to have fucking a heavy ass Macintosh amp that weighed 150 pounds. At the end of the night, we used to draw straws. Who with two people would carry the fucking amp?
Charlie had the system. And then he dominated everybody and everyone. End of story.
A deep bass abstract reggae rhythm was foreign at the time, but soon blended perfectly with the sound that was being created.
Us as Americans didn't know. We didn't know where Charlie was. It didn't make a difference to us. No. We knew it was a different accent. We knew nothing about Jamaica or whatever the case may be. But see, now it all comes now. Now that 30 years later, now it comes. He came from Jamaica. Now we know why he got those L48s and had all that bass. See, if we would have known about Jamaican music over here in those days, and we were familiar back in the 70s, then we would have said, okay, this is what we couldn't comprehend.
Jamaicans have always bases the foundation of all music, and we vibe on that very heavily.
Only thing we know is one day we're at 127 Park. Here come Charlie, and behind him is everybody. We're like, what are those? Oh man, that's just something I picked up, man. It's the L48s, man. You know, L48s. Everybody looking, what the hell are L48s? These big giant cabinets like this and like this. We don't know what the hell these things are. And then the B36s that he used for bass. Everybody else used those just for bass. Yeah. He comes in with those. Everybody's like, what are you doing?
Reminiscing his earlier days in Jamaica, West Indies. From studying his idol, King Tubby, he adopts the same style of music and brings it to America.
Already coming from this guy named King Tubby in Jamaica. He have this song, you know, every strictly every week. He's the one that, you know, he been amplified and things like that.
The first guy to put me on the reggae music used to say, here, play this record. Here, play this record behind us. Used to hand me records that I never even heard before. We'd be at a party, yo, play this record. I used to blend them in perfectly. Reggae music. Music that you hear now that's, you know, that's really trash. He had records from Yellow Man.
Zungo, 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 zang. Zungo, 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 zang.
If you have a paper, you must have a pen. And if you have a
in my opinion, the DJ was the star before the rapper. The DJ was responsible for all this equipment and music coming out.
Now, again, let's not forget who were they playing in those speakers. Remember, not hip hop, Motown and Percy Sledge and what they call it, Mother Love, God dang it, what they call that type of soul music? They had different forms of soul music. I forgot the name, but that predates Jamaican music, right? So I'll play that video also, right? I'll play that video. So their speakers were to play our music. I said, love me some Yellow Man. Like I said, I ain't never had problems with the Jamaicans, but you still ain't got nothing to do with hip hop, right? I'm sorry. We had our own set of speakers.
Yeah, man, cut the record. I'll smoke and do all type of thing there, man. Yeah, man, go ahead, man. Yeah, man.
Amplified.
Find the efficiency your team needs.
You shouldn't have called Yellow Man no boy. You shouldn't have called Yellow Man no boy. The damn sure ain't hear a Spanish record yet.
And announced the record as I put it on. I got my first job downtown at Pub Theatre. I rocked the house so good. I got a phone call from this guy one day. And ever since then, we've been like this. This is a guy that made me New York #1. All it is a word if you say it enough.
Pete DJ Jones was the first DJ I ever saw. He motivated me and inspired me to become a DJ. And that's how
that's coming from, remember I told you, if Curtis Blow, which is him, was already rapping, right? Remember I said somebody had to come before him. So I'm glad he said it. So we're going to let Curtis Blow finish what he's saying, right?
I got started in the business. You know, I started as a DJ and following him around everywhere he went. I was there. I was a Pete DJ Jones clone.
The reason why I used Pete so often was the fact that Pete was always on time. If there's one thing that you can trust.
You notice Curtis Blow said Pete. He didn't say Hurt, DJ Cool Hurt. He said Pete. He got it in game through a man named Pete, whom we seen through this, right? And then he put that Harlem swag on it. But he started out as a what? A DJ. They didn't even the Bronx felt hip hop so bad, they forgot to tell you that even though Curtis Blow was on the mic, they forgot to tell you he started out as a DJ. That's the failure of the Bronx. Why? Because where's Curtis Blow from? See, when people lie, they got to remove a lot of stuff, right? They got to remove certain things. They got to remove it.
I could stay in the bed. No matter where I was, I knew that Pete would be there.
The brother, okay,
had Bose speakers.
You
Were the
tell
only
me.
DJs with some little small Bose. When you left the party, you were soaking wet.
He was known throughout the city before mixers were able to transition music quickly from one turntable to another.
He's the first cat I ever saw use an echo chamber. P.D.J. Jones. The Echoplex.
He would play at different clubs in the Bronx, Harlem, Midtown, downtown, as well as local beaches and parks with great recognition.
Back in 72, as I remember, there was like maybe 5 big DJs. You had Pete DJ Jones, you had Maboya, Smith Brothers, and the Plumber.
When I first saw him, I was 13 years old. And they let me in the club. I had a phony ID too. I went down to 40.
Curtis Blow said, when I first saw him, I was 13 years old. 13. That go to show you how long they've been rocking the party. Right? How long they've been rocking the party. And again, Chuck D knows this because he's narrating the story. Let's go.
Second got one of them IDs that said I was 21. So I went and checked them out at Nemo's and McCoy's and Nell Gwynn's and Pippin's and Superstar Cafeteria and all them spots, man.
In 1971, I won DJ of the Year at the Martin Luther King Pavilion.
Not Cool
we had
Herc.
a battle, had about
Not the Bronx.
about 6, 7 DJs. In 72, I was presented DJ of the Year award at the Hilton, across from Madison Square Garden. No, Sheridan. Okay. Downtown Sheridan.
Yeah, right.
By Melba Moore.
Melba Moore.
Yeah. In 1973, at Bonnie Google's, I was awarded DJ of the Year by Faith, Hope, and Charity and Crown Height Affair. Well, I played until I had burnout around 1976. I decided to buy the same club that guy that rented me the club
He
for my
burned
first
out in
night.
76.
I bought the club from him, and I spent most of my time trying to promote my own club. I did that, and then I bought a club called P&P, on Jerome Avenue. And after that, I got tired of clubs. I decided to go back into it. When I got a job teaching school, gave up all my clubs, and I started DJing again around 84. But in the meantime, you had a million different DJs out there claiming they started this and they started that.
Hello. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. Hold on. Come to call him. Yeah.
Father, DJ Hollywood, was the DJ and MC all rolled into one. Harlem's own, landed work at clubs all over, but settled in at Club 371 in the Bronx.
DJ Hollywood, #1 DJ, started the game as far as I know.
The biggest and most major influence I had was DJ Hollywood.
Sunshine, Cool Modi.
Primarily because of his showmanship and the style and charisma that he brought to his performance.
I was his disco son before there was a DJ Run and a Curtis Blow.
People used to call me the Hollywood dancer. I was like, the best dancer in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
I remember back when I was a kid, my mother used to have card games on the weekend.
I told you.
They'd be like in a serious mode of gambling, and my mother say, "Boy, put some records on the thing. You know, let us play some
I ain't
records."
gotta say no more. I could end this video. I'm gonna end this video right here. I told you it started from our parents, and when they was doing what they was doing, they told us to cut the music on. That's where it started, from my parents. Now, it depended on how old you are. It could have started from you if you are older and you are the parent, right? But that came from when they wanted to have a good time and they wanted to play spades. Remember they used to play Pity Pat for money? I've been telling y'all that for the freaking longest. I am going to end this video right here. And I'm going to come back with a part 3 tonight I'm coming back with a part 3 tonight, and I might show some of this on my Tony T. But see, I go to tell you what I say is true, right? Homeboy, you see how quick I got Homeboy up the hell up on out of here. Because you ain't going to play with me and explain nothing to me, right? When I got you by some years, homie, what you going to explain to me? You can't tell me something that happened before you were born. If today the street signs are red, green, and yellow, and I'm telling you, well, when we was younger, it wasn't that color, and you're going to consist to tell me it was that color, and I'm telling you, no, it was not. Go on with yourself. Go on, convince the people who didn't know. Because all of us need to be celebrated. I like the fact that it's so many different people from different areas that is brought up in this video right here. I tell you, it came from our parents because I was one of the kids. We all was one of the kids. When they was playing them serious card games and they were like, cut the music on. And then they told us, get out, go in your room, right? Go in your room. Or they would say, come dance, made us do the dances, right? Either we had to go in our room or we had to dance. It was either or. And if you knew how to sing, then you either had to sing. So you had to sing, dance, or go in your room. Pick any of the three, right? And if you picked the room, I felt sorry for you because you had to make yourself come out of the room just to ask, can you use the bathroom? You just couldn't get up and go into the bathroom. You had to come, stop their flow and say, can I use the bathroom? Then was the good old days. Kids would never know what it felt like to ask to use the bathroom in your own house. They just go into the bathroom. Am I lying? Am I lying? But this video is about hip hop, right? It ain't about Brooklyn. Remember, it's Queens that's up in here. It's Harlem that's up in here. You did not hear Curtis Blow say anything about, oh yeah, I got everything from the Bronx. You didn't hear that. You didn't hear that at all. But I don't want to make this video too long. I'm doing a part 3. The Bronx Failed Hip Hop. And we let it happen. But there are videos that's telling the truth. We're going to tell the truth, then tell all the truth. Remember all of these pioneers. Remember all of them. And you got to remember yourself too, because they want to take us out the equation. Like, you can't have all of that without the people, right? You needed us to be at the party, right? Salute yourself too. They don't want us to even salute ourselves, right? They don't want to salute us because we came to your party, right? They don't want us, but But again, salute yourself. There will be a part 3. Hopefully more you guys, again, support the channel. Support the channel. But in between that time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Hope you had a great time, my friend. Don't forget to like and hit send. Tell a friend to come join and thrive. Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Come on and let's make it a trend. Come and share.
I got time today. I'll be back. I got time.
Just take a dive. Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe, hit